Well, we've been hearing it a lot lately, right? You're probably talking about it with your family and friends. Some Americans just say they're not happy with the inevitable election rematch between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. A recent poll finds 59% of Americans say they're not enthusiastic. So much so, a man in Texas changed his name to literally anybody else and is now running for president. Wants to mix it up, even changing his driver's license. Formerly known as Dustin Ebey, literally anybody else, is a teacher and a U.S. Army veteran. He needs more than 113,000 signatures to make it on the ballot in Texas, and he hopes his name change sends that message. Joining us now, literally anybody else. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. So you've got our attention. Now what?
I got your attention. Now let me earn your vote. You know, it's one of those things, this sentiment kind of resonates with many, many Americans. That's one of the things I've learned this past week, that, you know, this hits home for far too many people than it should. Like you just said, 59% of people are not enthusiastic about this reelection. That means whoever wins is going to be more than that 59%, because the leftover of that 59% is split between both candidates.
You're a math teacher, though, right? So, I mean, you look at the numbers, the probability of making a difference. How do you make your mark? Because, as I said, you've got a lot of signatures needed to make it onto the ballot. How do you do that?
With that, it's everyone who gets involved. See, my voice alone is not going to be that loud. But this right here is something it's something that resonates with, you know, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe millions of people out there who just say, we're done. This is enough. This two-party bickering has just gone out of control, and it is no longer representative of the people. We're a democracy. We should have representatives who align with our interests, not just the privileged few. And this right here kind of sets the floor. Hey, if you can't do the job we put you there to do, then we're going to go with something else. You don't need to have that job.
So you've got to get the signatures. You got to raise a lot of money. How much money have you raised so far?
So far, with just donations, no merchandise, I'm just over 2,000. Oh, actually, I'm closer to 3,000. But remember, I was unknown last Thursday. This is 1 week, and just through organic media like this.
Right. You're making
and
the
this
rounds.
Is just off the.
What is surprise? Do I call you literally? What's your first name? Is anybody else your last name?
You can call me literally. You can call me Mr. Else. I answer to any of them, whatever it takes to get the message out.
All right. Well, I like it. I think you're right. You're striking a chord here where people think, okay, these are our options, but you have an uphill battle. Let's talk about, first of all, who'd you vote for in the last election? Who do you align more with last time around?
Honestly, last election, when I went to the ballot, it was one of those things, I remember thinking, if literally anybody else was an option here, I would choose it. I would 100% choose it. And I think I actually left the presidential spot blank and then just voted for, like, I think there was one of the bills that came up that needed to be voted on and some representatives, but it was, literally, I was so disenfranchised then that, you know, that's kind of where the birth of the idea came from.
Mm-hmm. What about
the sentiment?
Mr. Else, what about your friends, your peers, those in your community? What's been the reaction to what you're doing? How is it resonating?
It's one of those things, they're amazed that I actually went through with it. I mean, because this is changing my identity. You know, to change my legal name is a huge step, and it does, like, admittedly seem crazy, but it's about the message. It's not about me. You know, when people see me, they ask, like, what am I about? It's like, it's not about that. It's like, what is the message we're trying to send to Washington, to the people that are governing us who are not doing their job?
It sends a strong message. Do you keep your name
Yes.
this regardless of what happens? Have you thought that far ahead?
So regardless of what happens, I'm going to go back to Dustin Ebey. That is my name. That is the name my mother gave me. You know, that is dear to me, which should highlight how serious consideration was taken to make this adjustment to send this message.
Yeah.
You know, I want people who feel the same way that I do to be able to get behind something, to send a message in a unified way, to bring people together, to affect change. I mean, if we can move the needles from over here back to here, the country will be so much better for it. And so I'm going to follow this through to the end because I feel like not pursuing this to November would be hollow.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.